Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Our group will be present about the topic of environmental issues. Our group consists of 5 members, and introducing myself, I'm Eza Batisha and I will be the first presenter. Let's jump into the introduction. What is environmental concerns? Environmental concerns may be related to local or global issues. For example, of global issues are GHG emissions, whereas for the local environmental disturbance may include pollution of air, soil and water. In the other hand, environmental issues are effects of human activity on the biophysical environment, most often of which are harmful effects that cause environmental degradation. The major current environmental issues may include climate change, pollution, environmental degradation, and resource depletion. That's all for introduction. Let's proceed to the next presenter.
Global warming is an increase in the average temperature of the atmosphere, Earth, and ocean. It will cause the temperature on Earth to feel warmer due to an increase in the global temperature of the Earth, which is marked by the melting of ice at the poles. Among the effects of global warming is the occurrence of prolonged dry weather leading to severe droughts and erratic rainfall. When the country is in a situation of dry air and lack of rainfall and a hot environment, it will cause the lands to become infertile, which ultimately affects the productivity of crops, animals, and the food supply of a country. For instance, until November 2022, there will be a terrible drought in Kenya, Africa, which affects food sources. According to the UN's World Food Programs, this year about 20 million people are at risk of starvation due to the severe drought that has hit the Horn of Africa from southern Ethiopia to northern Kenya and Somalia. The challenge that arises as a result of global warming is the country facing the issue of lack of food supply and rising prices of goods. It's because global warming will destroy the agriculture sector such as rice, which destroy the existence of food supply, such as 9,336 hectares of rice damaged due to drought throughout the period from 2017 to the last year. The increase in inflation also affects the food production cycle due to the increase in the price of food and agriculture inputs. When the demand for a product is high but the production is low, then it has the potential to increase the price. When this happens, it will have a negative effect on the lack of food security, which causes problems of starvation, hunger, and malnutrition. The destruction of agriculture will cause an increase in the price of goods due to the influence of supply chain issues at the local and international level.
Hi, my name is Azmi. I will talk about the international event, which is the country involved in the global environmental issue, which is at the wildfire in Indonesia on 11 September 2019. The environmental issue made by Indonesia has made the haze on 11 September 2019 was brought on by wildfire at Sumatra. This made more than 903,000 hectares of land have been burned, resulting in a large-scale wildfire in Indonesia that spread smoke and heavy haze to neighboring nations like Malaysia and Singapore. Besides that, according to the UNICEF organization, due to the scale wildfire in Indonesia, air quality has reached dangerous level in Kalimantan and Sumatra, putting 10 million children at risk of air pollution. Singapore and Malaysia have been stuck in a thick haze during that week. The air quality is getting close to getting dangerous. Example, one state of Malaysia, which is Pahang at Ompin, had the highest level of air pollution index API, which is extreme unhealthy, with the peak of 232. And the Singapore also show the air population index has reached of high of peak, which is 151, with remaining most remaining in the unhealthy zone at a day. The source of Indonesia air pollution, it was mostly caused by the forest fire caused by illegal slash and burn clearance, for the palm oil business in Indonesia, primarily on the island of Sumatra, Borneo, which spread swiftly during the dry season. This is because unlawful slash and burn clearance is less expensive and easier than using the technology. Furthermore, the effect of air pollution has, in Indonesia as we can see, contributes significant of global warming and climate change. In reality, one of the origins of the greenhouse effect is an excess of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Normally, the existence of greenhouse gas should benefit the planet since they absorb infrared radiation released by the Earth's surface. However, the current climate change is being caused by Indonesia, which has an excessive concentration of the gas in the atmosphere. That's all for me. I will pass to the next presenter.
So now I'll talk about an efforts taken to reduce haze pollution. An agreement on international haze pollution is held by ASEAN. The ASEAN Agreement on Transboundary Haze Pollution, signed by the ASEAN member states, aims to prevent, monitor and control land and forest fires and in order to regulate transboundary haze pollution through integrated national, regional and international cooperation efforts. In addition, Malaysian and Indonesian use cloud seeding to solve the haze issue and contribute to the control of the haze situation. To find a solution to the haze problem in the area, Malaysia and Singapore decided to work together to conduct research and development in the field of fire prevention on peatland. Malaysia has made every effort, including turning on the National Open Burning Action Plan, to prevent open burning. The five nations also decided to work together more closely to implement the cross-border haze action plan, which is thought to be periodically revised as needed in order to effectively combat cross-border haze pollution.
Hi, my name is Nali Petrin and I will proceed with my part on the recommendation that is in terms of technology support. Malaysia is known as a technology advisor and can give advice to Indonesia regarding technology to improve the air quality. In 2017, Malaysia successfully produced the biomass microwave carbonizer (BMC), which is an innovation in environmentally friendly biochar manufacturing system. Biochar comes from the short form of biochar rods. The biochar produced is a quality product and has the potential to effectively increase the productivity of manufacturing by more than 20% in a short period of time. The biomass microwave carbonizer can burn agricultural waste or biomass to make green charcoal. This combustion saves 50% of energy and can reduce 70% of carbon emissions. As a result, agricultural waste and excess biomass can be innovatively managed by converting them into high-quality products. In addition, biochar is more effective in the burning process and 90% greener than using other methods. So, Malaysia can advise Indonesia to do the same thing in order to overcome the issue of haze. The next recommendation is in terms of finance. Firstly, neighboring countries such as Malaysia and Singapore can help Indonesia to contribute a certain amount according to their expenditure allocations. Is to cover the cost of healthcare, the cost of losses, the cost of the development of the country. Based on research, the cost of treatment and medicine that has to be borne by the government hospital is quite expensive, and this makes it difficult for Indonesia government to handle on its own. For example, the cost of treating the patient, supplying the medicines, and the cost of face masks. All this is important to ensure the health of the people. Besides that, financial aid can also help Indonesia create new innovations that can reduce its smoke emissions. Instead of burning openly, Indonesia can use the fund provided by neighboring country to plan some innovation to ensure that the amount of burning smoke can be controlled and reduced. For instance, imitating China built a smoke-free tower to reduce air pollution. It's a vertical structure that looks like a giant wheels. Usually, it's placed in public area. It uses ionization technology to absorb the smoke and transform it into the fresh air. The smoke-free tower is a high air purifier tower that aims to cover and filter the air that covers an area of 10 square kilometers. This is one of the best ways to deal with this issue. Therefore, this is a sum of financial and technical support that can help Indonesia to minimize the occurrence of hazard incidents. I think that's all for me. Next, I will pass to my friends to explain more about their points.
Last but not least, let's jump into the conclusion. Commonly, any natural resource found in the environment, when it be used at higher rate than the ability of its restoration, that will lead to depletion, thereby causing environmental pollution. Not only that, but also it will lead to declination of environmental quality and is evidenced by the loss of biodiversity, loss of flora and fauna, the introduction of new disease, and stressful life in the human population. All type of pollution has their kind of negative impact on our environment. The life of humans and animals also get impact due to this. So, it is our responsibility to take various initiatives to protect nature. Furthermore, we as a humans should take important steps for a better future. That's all from our group for the topic of environmental issues. Thank you.